Hey there, it's John from Heroes and Legends, and today I got some exciting news to share with y'all. And first off, before I get into the details, I mean, you read the title of the video, so you kind of know where I'm going with this. I was able to create a Heroes and Legends token, which I'll show you all in just a moment. Quickly before I get started though, I want to say thank you to a lot of people, and that's basically all my subscribers, all the people that watch videos, folks that give me likes, shares, folks that leave comments and that I've talked to over the last, I've been doing this, I can't believe 2 years now. It flew by, quite honestly. And I just want to thank everyone who's been engaged in the channel that hopefully enjoys what I do and finds some value in it. I know over the last 2 years, I've had those missteps. Everyone does as they kind of learn what they're going through and what they're doing on YouTube. But I feel like the channel is in the best place it's ever been, stronger than ever. Even just yesterday or the day before, we got something like 76 new subs in one day. I mean, that's awesome. So thank you all for that support. Thank you to everyone who supported me on Patreon over the last, I think I started the Patreon page about 1.5 years ago or so. Thank you. I have people on there that supported me basically from day one. They're still there, and I can't thank you enough for that support. Because of you, I have this camera, I have this microphone, I have these lights that are lighting this place up so you can actually see what I'm recording. I have the other microphone from my PC, you know, my screen recording software. All that stuff really comes from Patreon support, and as well as the support from the Amazon affiliate store. So again, thank you to everyone who has supported me in those two ways. The folks that make purchases through my Amazon links, I get a small percent of anything you buy on there. So a lot of folks go on there, they buy singles or they'll buy a booster box or whatever. I mean, that's huge. So I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. And, you know, I was thinking a few months ago, I wanted to say thank you, give something back to the patrons who have been supporting me, and kind of do something new and different. And I got the idea to do a token. And to give you kind of a little bit of my thought process here, I was kind of going through a time where Patreon was going well. The Amazon affiliate store, I had just started it. And I was kind of thinking about what else can I do to really just reach out to the community and to the Magic community. And I was kind of running into a period of time anyway, where I was worried about being able to sustain doing this. And I hate to say that because I always see videos, folks saying, you know, I can't keep doing this unless you give me money on Patreon. And I never wanted to be one of those folks. But honestly, the truth of the matter is I want to be able to keep doing this without the support of patrons and without the folks on the Amazon affiliate store. It's just, it takes more and more time, especially as you want to get the quality of your videos better and better and get your information just more researched and so on and so forth. All of that takes time, and quite honestly, YouTube doesn't pay anything, barely, right? YouTube revenue is just pennies, and it really takes the support of the community to keep me doing this. And I thank you every day for the support you've given me and the support that I have no doubt I'll see going forward. I can never give back what you all have given to me, quite honestly, and I sincerely mean that. Being able to, many of you know this story if you've watched the channel for a long time, but not to take too long before I go into the unveiling, but I just thought this is a good time to say this. 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, I moved across the country and left behind like my Magic community, the folks I played with, the LGSs I'd go to, and the new place I moved to didn't really have a good community for that type of thing. There is a small community. I do get to play periodically, but the LGSs aren't as strong, don't support the community as much as the ones of where I came from. And I was looking for a way to reach out and still be a part of the community. One of the things I really enjoyed about my old community was mentoring new players, kind of helping them understand the game, giving them the history behind stuff. And that was just kind of gone, and there was definitely a void there when I was away from that. And that's why I decided to do the YouTube channel. Like, I'm not a professional Magic player, like I'm not in the Pro Tour, right? And I love the game. I think what I contribute that a lot of people don't necessarily have is just the history. I mean, I've been playing since the beginning, and I basically haven't stopped. There's times where I played less than others, but I've always been involved in some way, shape, or form. So it was a wake-up call for me when I moved away, and I was was like, wow, am I really not going to have people to play with anymore? You know, so I found a new way to enjoy the game, and that really was through this YouTube channel and sharing my history, I guess, and my knowledge and the things that I do know. And yes, granted, I might not be able to sit down and beat LSV or anything like that, but I think that I have a different perspective on the game than you'll find in a lot of other places, and I just like to share that with people. So anyway, having said all of that, without any further ado, I wanted to kind of show you this token. Just real quick background, it was right before Kaladesh was coming out. So it's about a number of months ago at this point. It actually started before that, probably 6-8 months ago. I was trying to think of some way to kind of thank the patrons and give something back. I came up with the idea of a token. I knew that I wouldn't be able to get money to commission a new piece of art or anything like that. So I was going to have to use something that was public domain. And I thought of classic art because there's so many amazing pieces of classic art out there that would look incredible on a card. So I started looking for something. Now, while I was working on this project, I actually ran into people that do this sort of thing. They actually create tokens of classic art and sell them. I've seen them on Mass Drop now and stuff. So it kind of was a nice reaffirmation that this is something people like and enjoy. So I thought that was really cool. And this is the token that we had a chance to create here. And it's an angel token. It's a 4/4 flying token, of course. This is a piece by Pierre-Auguste Cote, and it just looked incredible. And that was the main reason I went with Angel as the first token, because I like to do more of these, especially now that I have kind of the system in place and I found a printer and stuff. Because this one, just the art just looked so cool. I was like, this is the one I wanted to do. I was originally thinking about doing a Thopter token because Kaladesh was going to come out in a couple months at the time. So I thought, well, maybe I could get it done by Kaladesh. I wasn't able to meet that mark, but in the future, I do want to make more of these, and I'll kind of talk a little bit more about that in a few moments. But this is the token, and I got a number of copies of it. They look amazing. They came out really, really good. I'm really excited about them. They have a nice like matting to them too. They look very like sturdy, and you can see kind of here they'll pass the bend test. Look at that. So I'm really, really pleased with the product. It really came out incredibly well. So I was real happy to see it. And what I'm going to do is the folks who have supported me on Patreon, on the Patreon page, if you are still with me, it has the February financials process, which probably will be in a few days. If you've been with me and you're still with me in February, I'll go ahead and send one of these out to you. If you don't have your address in Patreon, I think there's a couple folks that don't, you may want to stop in and put it in so I can send it to you. But other than that, I probably already have the address, and I'll send these out sometime during the beginning of this month. So now, if you're looking at, hey, you know what, that looks cool, I'd like to have one of those in the future, I'll talk a little more about that in just a second too, and we'll look at the Patreon page. I'll show you how you can do that. But before I skip over there, just again want to say thank you for your support. This is incredible. This is an incredible achievement for me in a lot of ways, because it took a lot longer than I thought it would, but now all the pieces are in place. I can do something like this again in the future, and I'm real excited about it. So thank you all for your support. Let's just hop over to the Patreon page, and I'll show you kind of some of the updates that I made over there. All right, so I've been wanting to update the Patreon page for a number of months. I was waiting for the token to get done, and that's really why I put it off as long as I did, and now it felt like it was like starting to become way too long. So I made some updates. I'll definitely have a renewed focus on it now that I've made these updates, and I want to interact on here a lot more. A couple of the big updates you'll notice are, of course, I have some new goals and some new reward tiers. So let's quickly look at the reward tiers. Anyone that gives at least $1, so basically $1 to the $5 range, will be in the bronze tier. And what you get for that is currently what a lot of the folks are getting right now as they participate. You'll get your name in the description of all my videos for the month as a thank you for helping make them possible, quite honestly. And you'll also have access to the actual Patreon page, so you can contact me on here, see my exclusive posts for patrons, and also talk to each other if you'd like to. Now, silver tier is for $5, so basically between $5 and $10. What you get with the silver tier is everything that you would get in the bronze tier, but you're also going to get one of these angel tokens. I'll send it out to you once the first payment's processed. And so I'll probably do that monthly, send a batch of cards out for new patrons. It's kind of like a one-time gift. And Now we have a gold tier as well. And the gold tier, basically the same thing, of course, as the bronze tier, but you will get 2 of the angel tokens instead. And you're also going to get access, or I should say early access, to a new video series that I'm going to start doing. And this new series, I want to put it out monthly and talk about cards that are maybe undervalued currently that potentially could go up in value. I always try to work that into like my market watches and stuff, but I would like to do a dedicated video to that where I kind of say, hey, you know what, if you've been putting off getting this for your commander deck or been putting off picking up your play set of this card, you may want to think about doing it because X, Y, or Z is about to happen. It could go up in value. So I guess some people refer to those as speculation videos. I don't know. I don't really consider it speculation because that's really, I'm not going to be talking about bulk purchases or anything like that. I'm really talking about, hey, you better pick up this card while the getting's good because things are about to get worse, sort of thing. So basically my plan there is I will post those at least 3 days ahead of time for the patrons in the gold tier. So you get a head start to see which cards I'm talking about. 3 days later, minimally 3 days later, then I'll put them on the channel. Sometimes it might be a little longer if I don't have a gap. If there's a lot of news or something going on, I might not be able to put them out as quickly. So that's for the gold tier. Lastly, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but there's a platinum tier. This one's more for businesses that would like to sponsor the channel. So if you're looking to sponsor the channel, I would say contact me either directly through the YouTube page or directly through Patreon, one of the two. And then I can talk to you there about details. Now, let's talk about rewards. I updated these a little bit too. And as you can see, let me flip back to the beginning here. Okay, so at the $100 mark, I'm actually going to go forward and making a new token. So that's basically how I want to continue the series. Once I get enough money to print a new batch and find new art and kind of put that into the design and everything. And I don't think that would cost more than $100, quite honestly. And there'll still be some left over to support the channel itself. And at that point, I will go forward with that. And I'll talk to the patrons on the page and discuss maybe what tokens they might be interested in going forward. And at that point, what I'll do is for the new token, I'd give those out to everyone who's at the least the $5 or more level. And then, of course, the angel token would probably be replaced with the new token. Secondly, we have $200 mark. At the $200 mark, I want to commission a artist to work on a playmat for us. That's something I really want to do. I really want to have a Heroes and Legends playmat. As far as how I'm going to distribute that yet on Patreon, I have to kind of see what all the costs are. What I'll probably do is once I can actually get the art commissioned, I'm not too worried about production costs because there's a lot of print on demand options. I'll have to see what those are. And then probably what I'll do is add a tier to the Patreon and say, if you give this much, then you'd get the playmat sort of thing. Just depending on what the playmat's going to cost in the end. But anyway, I think that's something that would be really cool and could really help us out quite a bit. And the next tier and last real tier at $300 is basically just extra overflow at this point in a given month. Then I'll open a booster box and do an extra video where we open the booster box, and I'll release that video to the patrons first, and then a few days later release that on the channel. And then after that, I just kind of have the catch-all. So basically, all of this money is going back into the channel for equipment, but I just put on here anything above and beyond that will go towards equipment. And I'm trying to save up for a editing PC at this point. If it wasn't for Patreon, I wouldn't have all the stuff I do have. So thank you all for that. I'm at the point where I do need to kind of graduate to a new computer. I think I'm using a $300 laptop basically to run everything. So I'm amazed I've been able to do what I've done with it so far. So that's the last piece. But like I said, you know what? Not everyone can give to Patreon, and that's fine. I don't expect everyone to be able to do that. You know, it's hard to do. I totally get that. And if you can, wonderful. If you can't, just watching, subscribing, liking the videos helps us out a lot. Another way you can support us is through the Amazon affiliate store. And I'll just flip over there quickly because I still get a lot of questions about the store, and rightfully so, because I know Amazon can be a little confusing. If you're not aware of what this is, I always have a link in the description for this. It's basically a collection of links on Amazon for Magic products. So this kind of started when I heard about the Amazon affiliate store, and I liked buying stuff on Amazon. You got the quick shipping. It was usually, as long as you got it from a good source on Amazon, I never had any issues with the products that I got. You can find some good deals on there sometimes. I mean, you want to be careful who you buy from sometimes, but for the most part, I haven't had any bad experiences. The hardest thing for me with Amazon was finding what I was looking for when it comes to Magic products. And a lot of times they're spread out into a whole bunch of different categories because nobody really knew where to put them. Are they toys and games? Are they entertainment? Right. So what I did was I created this storefront and I just combined all the links so that you can find them all in one place. And if you make any purchases through the links, a small percentage comes back to support the channel. So first off, I would say if you have money to spend on Magic, support your LGS, right? Because that's probably where you play. But if you have any money left over to support the channel and you want to buy a product through here, it's just another option. And some people don't have an LGS that they go to regularly and you want to support the channel. That's awesome. I appreciate that. So couple things I do want to mention. We're on the main page here, which is new product releases. So basically everything since the current standard started, you can find in this section. So it goes back to Battle for Zendikar, but if you look at anything on here, we'll look at the Aether Revolt pre-release kit real quick. It says $24.84. However, look down here. 23 new and used available from $17.95. If I click on this, I might actually find it cheaper than what the heading price is. For whatever reason, Amazon does that. But here you can get one for $18.22 and $4.77 shipping. Or here's ones for $17.95 with $5.05 shipping. So just because you see a price on the title screen there doesn't mean that that's actually the best price. So look for a deal on there for sure. And also, aside from that, I have sections for Aether Revolt products, Kaladesh products. I found every booster box that I could find on Amazon. I actually have almost every booster box in the history of Magic on here. There's a few that weren't on here, but I got most of them, which is pretty awesome. I did the same thing with Fat Packs. Same thing with From the Vault. So those are all here. Singles, every week I do the Market Watch and I talk about standard singles and modern singles and legacy singles. Every card I talk about in the Market Watch, again, as long as I can find it on here, and 99% of the time I can, I put them in these categories. So you'll find all those cards we've been talking about on all these Market Watches in here. And especially when a card spikes or is going down rapidly, a lot of times you can find really good deals on those cards on here. I've seen that a lot of times after I make the Market Watch, I go in here and update the store while everything's rendering and stuff. And I tend to find a couple times I've been tempted to buy cards because I'm like, wow, this is a lot cheaper than I just said it was valued at. So something to look for there. I have random things too, like the art books. I have supplies. These are some highly rated supplies that I just put together too. So again, just another way to support us. And like I said at the beginning, it just goes so far. Thank you all so much. I don't want this video to go too long. So I'm just going to wrap it up by simply saying thank you for allowing me to do what I've been doing. And like I said, sincerely, you've given me much more than I could even give back at this point. Thank you for your support, helping me do this and just look at my hobby in a completely new way and enjoy it in a new way. And thanks for all that support. And I hope that I contribute in a positive way for you too. So having said that, hey, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible by the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.